Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. How's everybody doing today? After almost a whole day of rain yesterday, we're having a beautiful day today, which is great. My kind of day. Well, so we are all living our lives without truly being ourselves. The issue is that human beings are social creatures. Most people, it's human nature actually, it's not even a most people case type of thing. But I'm going to say most people because there might be some outliers, and there are the hermit mode people, and there's nothing wrong with hermit mode, right? We all need our time alone sometimes to reflect on life and things. But generally speaking, human beings are designed and meant to connect with each other, to interact, because it is through those interactions that we learn things about life. We develop things about ourselves. We experience things. We learn a lot of lessons. And when we learn a lot of lessons, we grow, we evolve. It's that simple. There is there's no mystery, no rocket science involved. But the problem is that, generally speaking, most people, that goes for everybody, we are not living our lives as ourselves. What do I mean by that? Your true self, the person that you really are, deep down within yourself. Because as we are growing up in this big social engineering environment, because that's what the environment is, it's always been that way for a very long time. We're all social engineered under a specific set of parameters, rules, ideologies. And then we develop our personality from all of that. And on top of that, we have the ego and the superego. So there's a lot of cog parts to this machine, so to speak. And as we're living through our lives, we are actually not really truly embodying ourselves, but what we are embodying and manifesting as is this avatar, this construct, this actor that we developed throughout our lives, growing up, receiving all this information, all these parameters, all these sets of rules, regulations, laws, all of these things. So, what people do, because everybody has this natural inclination to want to be accepted, seen, felt, to be to feel validated, feel loved. All of these things that is part of human nature. It's part of the human process. It's part of life. We stay inside of this construct parameters, this pretty well made avatar that we develop for ourselves. Because when you try to operate outside of these parameters, ideologies, ways of thinking, being, all of that stuff, the first thing that it feels like is that you're an outcast. It's very similar to that movie, The Matrix, the first movie though. Don't worry about the rest of them. The first movie, right, where Neo is walking in the streets with Morpheus, and Morpheus is basically explaining to him that everyone else that's a part of the system that hasn't waken up to the reality of things is, it's like it's a part of the system, so they are against you. They're almost like an enemy of you. And it may feel that way for a lot of people though, once they begin to see things as they truly are, and they begin to value themselves for who they truly are. When they finally shed away from that avatar, when they finally decide to step outside of that box and begin to think for themselves and question things and see the world and this entire machinery that was designed with very specific purposes in mind for what it is. Because everything you see for the most part is a stage. People playing their roles as they were given to them. Everyone is acting in a way, playing a role that was given to them forcefully in a way. But that's not who they truly are. And this is why most people, at one point or another throughout their lives, most likely many times, will have their aha moments and will question things, and on top of that, they will not feel good about themselves. They will not be happy with themselves, their lives, whatever is going on, whatever the situation is. They're always going to feel that things are not fair, which in a way is true to a certain degree, because there are factors that we cannot control when we live in this realm here. We can control a lot of things, we can change a lot of things, but there are things that we can't, because the world, the way it works and operates, is based upon it's based upon the consciousness of the whole of humanity. So certain things that happen, they happen because they are a reflection of the whole of the consciousness of all of humanity combined. That's what it is. And this is why I said in past videos more than once that, you know, this whole idea that you can't step outside of these things and create your own bubble, like some people claim and preach. It just doesn't work that way. We're all in this together. And we're always going to be in all of this together, whether we care to admit it or not. So as long as we remain divided, for whatever reason, as long as we remain in conflict with each other, for whatever reason, things will not improve as a whole for all of humanity. We allowed a lot of these things that are happening to happen and to continue to happen. You know that saying, history repeats itself? That is a very powerful and true statement. The reason why these things happen is because as long as we remain being a certain way, not only about ourselves, but the things outside of ourselves, right? Certain things continue to happen and repeat themselves as they've always had. And this is not as hard to change as some people may think. But it requires action. Being passive about things will not give you any results. So, the first thing that we have to do is stop playing the avatar. Stop allowing our lives to be ruled and determined by what our ego and superego wants us to do. Because that's not who you truly are. That's not to say that these parts of yourself aren't a part of you. They are. But they are more parts of the construct that we created, that we were conditioned to create, than our true nature as these eternal beings experiencing reality here on this plane. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think I've said enough for this one. So if you like the video, don't forget to click the like button, share, subscribe. It helps the channel grow and reach more people. And I will catch you all on the next one. Take care and be safe, my friends. Till next time.